Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and today I'm giving a kickoff call report. We just started our 4 weeks to finished program. We had our first call yesterday, and I thought it might be valuable for me to come on and share what we did, what we talked about, what the homework assignments are, and what we're doing here at Learn to Become in our 4 weeks to finish program. But the full 4 weeks to finished movement, this is the whole community. We have a free play along at home calendar that gives you bite-sized assignments for every day, I think every weekday for 4 weeks. We also have our Steps to Everyday Productivity program. It has a 1-month timeline. That is going strong, and it's amazing what's happening inside the Step Mastery Facebook group. And then I just want to bring you inside what's going on at 4 weeks to finished. And I hesitated at first because I was thinking, do I make this a special episode, like a little temporary episode, or do we make it a formal episode that's going to stay on the podcast? I decided to go ahead and make it episode 131. Because I think it's helpful for you to hear how we approach teaching the Step Command Central method. And I also want you to be able to feel the excitement as we move forward at Learn, Do, Become. Because, 10 years from now, we could look back on this podcast and see, oh my goodness, remember way back when it first started? So, okay, I'm going to dive in and just talk to you about what we did, what we're doing. If you're listening to this podcast right when it goes live, we have extended the registration for 4 weeks to finished through Monday, like around noon Pacific, at 11 Pacific. That's kind of what we're thinking. We want to be able to get people in because there's so much interest. Our team just keeps saying, people keep asking to join. And we do have the call number 1 replay ready for you. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I want to come in, I want to do it, awesome, do so. If you're listening to this podcast later, then I don't know what we're going to be up to. But still check out the show notes page. At least come to learndobecome.com/episode 131. And for those of you who are really wanting to come into 4 weeks to finished and you're sad you missed it and you are having FOMO or whatever, you just want to be part of it, it's learndobecome.com/4 weeks. Okay, I'm going to dive in and share a little bit about this kickoff call. All right, this was hands down one of my top experiences ever at Learn, Do, Become. The reason why is because, there's lots of reasons, but it was the first time that our team got to see a group of community members in real time. Right now, for example, I'm talking to a computer and I'm talking into a microphone and I'm sitting in a room all by myself. But even though, we were virtual, we're in a Zoom room, as I was looking at the computer and all of a sudden there were like pages and pages of people and their videos. And as I would say something, I could see their facial expressions. So I could see if they were confused or if they agreed or if they're nodding or they could raise their hands. Oh my goodness. I wanted to cry like 3 or 4 times. And I thought, okay, April, hold it together. They're here for training and coaching. But it was amazing because it's so great to know it's real people who are out there and it's real people showing up, and to be able to connect in that way. I can't even tell you how happy I was. I think I had chills up and down my arms like 3 or 4 times. I keep telling them, I'm getting chills, you guys. Just watching you, all here to support each other. This is amazing. So I wanted to start out with that and just let you know, I sincerely wish that all, like hundreds of thousands of us, could all be in the same room and we could just feel that energy. Because when you're not alone. When you're feeling overwhelmed or you're like, holy cow, there's so much to do, or you feel like you're disorganized or the day doesn't go as planned, or you feel like my life isn't going as planned, it's so easy to feel like you are the only one going through that and everyone else has a picture perfect life and they're all on vacation wearing cute hats or something like that. But when you actually get to sit with other people who get you and who want to genuinely help you and empathize with you and cheer you on and say, hey, we're not here for a pity party. We're here to make great improvements. But that's okay if you're feeling overwhelmed. That's okay. And if you're a little nervous for this call, that's all right. It just means you really care. We're all going to do a great job. It was so good. So, all right, I'm going to share how I started the call. First of all, with a little bit of mindset work. And I had a list of things that I typed up previously prior to the call, and I'm just going to share 3 of those here with you. So first, I just shared that some really important things brought you here. And this is the same for you here at Learn, Do, Become. You're not listening to this podcast because you have nothing to do. You're listening to this podcast because you're looking for hope and solutions. So then I shared that I know there's a lot of emotion going on behind the scenes, and some of it you probably can't even articulate. I know many of our members have felt nervous about today, like it's the first day of school. Or you may have felt some opposition as, other things came up this morning, last night, etc. And you sometimes might have thoughts like, why do I even try? Or will I even belong in a group like this? Whenever I go to a mastermind or something, I always feel that way. I'm always nervous about what I'm wearing, things like that. So I just wanted to remind you that there's no competition here. There's no judgment. We are all on the same team because the world is a better place if all of us are organized. So we're here to help one another and make progress together. And then I explained to them, you've made an important step. No matter how overwhelming your home or office or mind or digital clutter feels, I promise you're not alone, but you're choosing to do something about it. And that's what I love. All right, next, everyone here is starting at a different place. So some of you are familiar with STEP, some are brand new, some have years of stuff to process. Some of you are already pretty organized, but you just want some new ideas. Some of you run businesses or multiple businesses. Some of you are managing the care of aging family members, and some of you have a heavy load of projects that have to get done right now. At least one of our members is actually having a baby during these 4 weeks. And so while the application is going to look different for each person, the principles are the same, and we're going to focus on those. And then third, we're going to focus on hitting the target. And then we're going to emanate out from there. Now, if you feel off as you're progressing, the foundation or target was probably a little off. So we'll go back to that, we'll center and get grounded, and then we'll move forward. But you've hit the target if, as you're moving forward with your Command Central, you feel light and you feel peaceful and happier and more confident. You're going to notice as you build it correctly, everything just starts to feel easier. And that's what I want for you. So after we walked through a few more mindset things, then we went into the training portion of the call. And I like to begin with the end in mind. So I showed them, here's what your homework is. Here's your homework assignments. And I actually put all of the homework assignments on the show notes page. So if you are thinking, well, what'd you give for homework? Just come to learndobecome.com/episode 131 and you can see. And I even have little pictures. And so I showed them, this is what your homework's going to be. Now let's walk through each one so you have support and training. So then I went ahead and gave them that training, and I'll just explain basically what we did. Now, we're taking this group, this 4 weeks to finished, through the STEP program in a different way than I've ever done it before. Inside the official STEP program, we have 8 modules. And if right now you're doing our 1-month module completion chart, it has the schedule for you, it's great. It's going to take you all 8 modules. It's going to go through all of them. If you're doing 4 weeks to finished, we're doing it a little bit differently. We're leaving out some of the modules and we're just focusing on the core elements of getting a Command Central built and learning how to process it and do a weekly review. So I am boiling this STEP program all the way down literally to the most basic things. I'm telling them, I'm like their bossy big sister, telling them we're going to keep this simple and don't keep moving ahead and don't get all stressed out and don't try to complicate it. In fact, we had office hours that started today. So we do daily office hours with a coach, and Taryn was doing the coaching today. And she said it was so interesting because it was such a great group that came. And what I found is that they just wanted reassurance that they're doing a good job and that they're not missing something. And they kind of said, at least one of them said, I have a tendency to overcomplicate things. And so a lot of our members just need help knowing, hey, it's not that complicated. Keep it simple. And then they're so relieved when they know, okay, I've got it. I've done enough. I don't need to do anything more. It's really helpful to have someone tell you that. I think it's like that in life in general. When I meet with a business coach, for example, if a coach is trying to complicate my life, it's the wrong coach. If someone's trying to help me simplify and keep it simple, or simplify and keep it simple, if they're trying to help me take it easy and focus only on what I do best, I will hire that coach forever. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 assignments. First, they're being assigned to create a current projects list for the month. Now, in our introductory class, the webinar we teach called How to Finally Stop Drowning in Piles, we show you how to create a current projects list. But I really encourage them have, maximum of 8, but preferably even just 3 projects. I want it really short, between 1 and 8, you can pick. But 4 weeks to finished, this coaching program, it's one of them. Okay, this is a project. You're working on this for a month. A project has a beginning and an end. It's multi-stepped, so it's not like a 2-minute task or something you just do in 15 minutes. A project, though, you can actually say it is complete and move it to finished. Okay, so that's what 4 weeks to finish is. They're going to go to the classes, they're going to do the homework assignments, they're going to ask questions, take advantage of the coaching, and then boom, they're done. And then they're on to the STEP Mastery program where they have lifetime access. Okay, so that's how we have it set up. And again, if you're listening to this right when it goes live, you can still come join if you want. I don't know if we're doing it again. I hope we're doing it again, but it's a lot of work and it's a big deal and it's a party. Oh my gosh. If you knew what was happening behind the scenes here, we are hopping. Okay, but I love it. It's some of the best energy I've ever felt at Learn to Become in my whole life. So I'm so grateful. So that's their first assignment. And if you want to see, well, what does a current projects list look like? Come to the show notes page. Maybe just open it up on your phone so you just have it there and a little picture so you can see. It's like me, my family, beyond, very simple projects. Oh my goodness, even just going into the coaching group and seeing people starting to post their homework and share, like, I'm a little nervous about putting something for me. I feel a little selfish. How do I get over that? We've got to get over that quick because you're here to take care of yourself so you can be healthy and energetic and have that power to be able to lift all the people you care about. But you gotta take care of yourself. So that was really important. Okay, number 2, create a next actions list that you will actually review each day, paper or digital. I don't want someone to create a paper list if they're never going to carry it with them. I also don't want someone to create a digital list if they're never going to open the app. So we're going to keep the list very short and very basic and very simple with contexts that are organized to meet their needs. And we actually practiced in the call, which context would you use? And people were sharing in the chat how they might adapt them. It was great. If you want to see what that looks like, again, come to the show notes page. This is the next actions, the same context that David Allen talks about in his book, Getting Things Done. And I've adapted mine a little bit where I not only have home, errands, computer to discuss and phone, but I have things like when I'm out walking, I have a little list of audio programs or podcasts, things or audiobooks I want to listen to. I also have a to read section if there's books I'm reading. So anyway, it's super fun. I love my next actions list. All right, number 3 was lock in your calendar so you have one that meets your needs, and then commit to looking at it daily. And we talked about some of the principles of what actually makes an awesome calendar. What makes an awesome calendar is something that when you open it, you feel like you can breathe. And so when you pile everything on your calendar, you're just going to feel overwhelmed and stressed out. So we talked about how you actually do that. How do you take routines off of your calendar? How do you only keep on there appointments that where your body has to be? But then you need that part 2 of the calendar, where do you put tasks that need to be done sometime that day? So we talked about making them all day tasks in a Google Calendar, or I showed them how I do it in my planner. We just want to make sure that you know exactly what needs to happen that day and that your day feels open, because chances are you're going to have a lot of unexpected things happen every day. And if you have no buffer, you're just going to feel a little bit stressed. One of our members shared that she had the AI program where if she missed something, it would automatically schedule her for later. She's like, I think I need to stop using that because I feel like I have no control and no space and it's kind of stressing me out. I don't even want to look at my calendar. So we talked about how you can adjust that, especially making use of that next actions list, that routines list, focusing, taking the pressure off yourself. I know I probably sound weird. When I open my calendar for the day, I feel just joyful. It feels easy and doable. When I open my email, I'm so happy. When I open my Asana project management, I just feel like I'm breathing and I'm focused and I love it. I don't have a bunch of tabs open on my computer, so when I open my computer, I feel lovely. Like my phone doesn't have a lot of notifications and stuff, so opening my phone, it's like connecting with people I love. I don't have any stress around that, but it's not because my life doesn't have an excuse to be stressful. It's because I don't allow it to be that way in how I communicate and in what I put on my calendar. So that's actually really, really helpful. Okay, next was create a starter routines list that you can easily post and or review weekly. And so that was actually helpful because a lot of people are like, well, I'm not really sure what to do with routines. Maybe I've created a routines list in the past and it was so much. It was like if I were amazing person with 80 hours a day. Here's what I would do. And so you don't want that. You want core routines. You want to have a very basic list of things that your brain can say, okay, this is what I'm responsible to do so nothing explodes, so I don't have late fees, so I don't forget to take out my trash, whatever. You have a basic list, and then you can have additional ideas for that multiple choice perfect day. Like, yeah, it'd be great if every day I could, do X, Y, Z. But it's not like a core routine. So we talked about the difference between that. I gave them a link to my Evernote that shows kind of a starter routines list, kind of an example. I have a little screenshot of it there on the show notes page too, if you want to see it. And then fifth, create a mind sweep. So after they create those 4 things, current projects list, next actions list, locked in calendar, and a routines list, then they need to do a mind sweep and just write down anything that feels overwhelming, because we're going to start processing and practicing that in the next class. So I have a little picture of a mind sweep, and we have a trigger list we sent them. So if you're thinking, what is a mind sweep? You know how your brain is spinning in circles and you'll see something and think, oh yeah, I need to do that. Oh yeah, I need to do that. You put it all in one place, and then you don't just leave it on the paper. You actually process it into a command central. Now, you do need to have a full command central built before you can start processing, because it needs to go somewhere. But that's the beauty of having a full command central, is now you've got the whole system. I always talk about it being like a car. If you took out the engine, the car's not going anywhere. If you took out the steering wheel, it might go somewhere, but you're not going to end up where you want to be because you're not going to be able to steer. If you take out, the Prindle, sorry, they call it Prindle, right? Park, reverse, neutral. Okay, anyway, that was from some TV show my kids watched, so now we call it the Prindle, the gear shift. If you take that out, obviously you won't be able to go backwards or forwards. You're going to have some problems. So the car needs all the parts. So does the command central. You need all of the parts. And what I've found is, as I've gone through so many people's offices and worked with literally hundreds of thousands of people online, if you ask them to show you how they organize their calendar, their tasks, their projects, their routines, their emails, and all the stuff that they have to do, if you just say, hey, so how do you organize that? If someone actually takes you into their desk/phone/computer and opens up their world to you, most likely it is spaghetti. I've seen it. There's red deadlines and people don't even use their software. There's random thousands and thousands of emails. There's sticky notes. There's random tasks. There's no order. And then you say, well, how do you decide what to work on? And they're like, I don't know, whatever's yelling the loudest, whatever was just in the meeting I just went to, whatever I think of, or I just don't, right? And that was one question we asked at the beginning of the kickoff call is, one of our guarantees with this program is, hey, if you actually do these 3 things, come to the class, do your homework, and ask for help from your coaching, then you're going to have a command central, and we guarantee you're going to save 10 hours a week. And people are saying, well, how do I know if I'm going to save 10 hours a week? And I said, okay, right now, I want you to tell me how many hours a week you spend procrastinating, scrolling through email or social media, looking for something, feeling down, feeling frustrated, talking about how much you have to do. How much time do you spend right now doing those things? And the comments were very eye-opening and very honest. And people were saying, I don't know, 20 hours a week, all week. That's all I do. And these are people who are very compassionate, very busy, have a lot on their plates. They're just overwhelmed. And that's understandable, because if you're listening to this, I'm guessing you have felt that way, or maybe you do feel that way. And maybe even as I'm talking, I'm pulling up all this stuff. You're like, stop talking about this. It's making me stressed. I just want you to know it doesn't have to be that way. That's how I used to feel. Long list, 40 things on my daily task list. I did maybe 2, and then I'd rewrite 38 things the next day and add 10 more. And then guess what happened? I'd finally be like, I just can't do any of this. And I'm thinking I'm a loser. And I was just stressed. And then I didn't even want to try reaching for goals, because I'm thinking I can't even handle what I'm doing right now. How am I possibly going to do this? So I just want you to know there's hope. And that was my favorite moment of the entire call. Was someone said, they were telling about their situation, and they said, I'm here because I finally have hope that I think I can do this. I think this is going to make a difference. That whole sense of I don't have to feel overwhelmed. That is what I want for you. Because as soon as you know it's optional to feel overwhelmed and you know, oh wait, hang on, I could build a Command Central and I don't have to feel stressed. Yeah, 100%. And the reason why we started with these 5 super basic things is because most of the people do not do the foundational things. So people will come, for example, into our Step Mastery Facebook group where we've had coaching. We have over 17,000 members in there. And they'll say something like, this program isn't working for me. I'm super stressed out. Or we get emails or texts saying, that was my favorite, you guys suck. That was what we got last week. Oh man, that wasn't even the worst of it. We got some really mean things. Okay, anyway. People are telling us how bad we are, how the program doesn't work, how much they hate it. And here's what we say. I mean, obviously we try to help them with their issue. But whenever we've asked them, okay, have you logged in or have you gone through any of the modules or have you attempted to create your lists or done any of the assignments? Well, no, I just kind of skipped over that part because I just didn't understand it. Like they didn't even ask for help on it. They didn't even try. They have no evidence. They tried. They don't even have a good question to ask about it because they don't even know what we're talking about. So that's where it's like, okay, if you're not going to actually read the instructions and you're not even going to try to do it and you're not even going to try to ask for help with the support we have available to you, well, I don't know how to help you, okay? I just don't know. So we're trying. We're really, really trying. Okay. But that's what I loved about this group is they're not here to give excuses. They are here to make it happen. And so they're asking good questions. And we stayed afterwards for over an hour and everyone like raised their hand and we got to unmute and talk and discuss Q&A. And it was so fun. I was so happy. Like people want to talk about Command Central. So I could talk to you all day. It was so good. Okay, so then after we finished the call, then I sent everyone a list of resources within the STEP program and on the website. So I just took those 5 things we talked about, and then I said, okay, if you want to know more beyond what we talked about here on this call, here's links to the modules that you're going to need in the STEP program. Here's a link to your Mindsweep, PDF that has all the ideas on it. Here's a link to my Evernote, so you can look at my whole routines list. You could even make a copy of it and then edit it according to your routines. Here's a link to our boot camp we have in the STEP library. You can go on in there. I've got full classes and worksheets and everything for you in there if you want to go deeper. And then we have all this coaching right now for our 4 weeks to finish program. And so I was telling you, Taryn just did the first call today. People are already posting in the 4 weeks to finish Facebook group saying, oh my gosh, I can't say enough good things about that call today. This was amazing. People are posting these cute little pictures about how much they loved it. I showed my 14-year-old son. He goes, Mom, my generation would never post anything like that. I said, well, Spencer, we are not trying to target 14-year-old boys right now. Anyway, it was kind of funny. So he doesn't appreciate it. That's okay. Someday. He's super sweet. But with the coaching, so this is how we have it set up. Daily office hours. We have a private Facebook group. And as we have it set up where we have to approve a post before it goes in. So as our coaches are approving posts, we're like going in and helping answer the questions. We have a text option. We have an email option. And then we're getting accountability partners. We have a form everyone needs to fill out by Monday. So that's why if you're listening to this when it goes live, come in and by Monday night, you need to fill out this accountability partner form. We're going to assign those by Wednesday. So now you're going to have an accountability partner, office hours, all this support where if you can learn how to articulate your needs, you're going to get answers to your questions. So that's why I have full confidence that for people who say, I just help me just get this set up. It's like, okay, we have built this cocoon around you. Come in and we're going to help you. And we have an awesome money back guarantee. So we're taking all the risk. It will require your time and attention, but like we're here for you. So if you are thinking about joining, if you come in, if you go to learndobecome.com/4 weeks, so 4 weeks, and you purchase, and if you already bought a STEP program, there's a coupon code inside your members area, or you can just message our Facebook page or send an email to us or go to our contact form or reply to any email we've sent to you. And then one of our team members can help you know if you've already purchased a STEP program, what your coupon code is, because you get to apply everything you've already paid to our existing program. So that's pretty fun. But it's really fun to see how many people are still coming in. And so I just set it up. I just went into our system and set it up where once you join, you're going to get an email that says, here's your replay, here's a startup guide. I wrote up everything, the full curriculum, so what we're covering each week, what your homework assignments are going to be, how to access all the coaching, when they are. We have a coaching calendar. We even put it on a Google Calendar, so you can add it to your own. You can have it there as a layer. You can turn it on or off. Like, we're making it as powerful and fun and amazing as we can. And I just have to say the Slack back and forth with our team is super amazing right now because we're all just sharing like, okay, here's what's working. Here's what we found people need. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. And so for this first week, we're even having 2 coaches on each of the calls because one's going to help kind of monitor the chat. One of them's going to be doing the teaching. We're just coming up with really awesome solutions as a team. And Eric and I are just so proud of our team and so, so grateful. And we're proud of you. And we also just want you to know we're not trying to be like pushy or salesy. It's just what we're creating right now is really awesome. And the community is so good. But we also, as we were building this, I think I mentioned this before in a podcast, we don't want people to feel like they're being left out. Because I understand if you just think, you know what, financially, this just doesn't work in my budget right now. I get that. And I've been there before. So our team created a special, it's called Play Along at Home, because legitimately this is play. You can either play in the group or you can play in the Step Mastery or you can play along at home. And we have a calendar set up. All of this is located on the Start Today page. So it's learndobecome.com/start today. And it's also the /crush it that Eric had me create. Go to the same page. That page has the audio series at the top, that 3-part audio series we published earlier on the podcast. And then it shows you the 3 ways to participate, either the formal 4 weeks to finished coaching, the step self-study or step mastery that has those 8 modules, or the Play Along at Home calendar. And so what we did for that, I'll just share briefly. So I put it out there in Slack as an idea. And I said, hey, what do you guys think about doing a calendar for the 4 weeks? So people who are doing the Play Along at Home option have a little bite-sized assignment every day. And it can link to a video or podcast or something we already have out on the site. And Jill, within, I think, an hour, replied and said, I love that idea. I just started a Google Sheet. And she puts it up. And she has all these ideas already put in. And she's organized it by day and date and everything. And then Taryn and Candace said, oh, yeah, well, hey, we have some new ideas. And so they put theirs in. And I just went in and did a couple of edits. Aaliyah branded it, colored it, made it super cute. It's so fun. So if you go to learndobecome.com/start today, you can at least access that. That is 100% free. It's going to take you through. We even, as Jill was creating it, she took our curriculum for 4 weeks to finished, and she had it just kind of temporarily over on the side so that as she was creating the bite-sized assignments and putting together the calendar, it was kind of aligning with what we're already doing. So that's a great way to build a foundation. And then if we do 4 weeks to finish again, you could totally come and join in that time, or at least you could join the STEP program when you feel like you're ready. But the energy and the power and the testimonials and what's happening in there is so good. And there's literally no risk. We've put this together with money back guarantees, tons of support. It's tried and true. I've been teaching this over a decade. And I've been telling people, I'm not great at everything. There's a lot that I have to learn in life and just in general. But I honestly believe if you want to build a STEP Command Central, or if you just want to build a Command Central, or if you just want to organize your desk in your mind, I honestly believe this is the best process that is out there. I'm looking all the time to see, well, what are people teaching and what's out there and how can I learn more? And I learned a lot of great things about organizing and how to make, your pantry look good or your closet look good or some great, minimalizing principles. I love it. And I really value the good that people are putting out there. But what this Command Central does is it really brings it all together and gives you a system. And that's why I'm so excited about it. So just closing thoughts, I really, really love this community. Building Learn to Become over the last 7 years, because I did Power of Moms for starting in 2007, and then we started Learn to Become in 2015. But building it has been a labor of love and a huge project. And to be totally honest, it's been a really challenging time for me. mainly because of all the technical and hidden tasks that have to go on behind the scenes in order to make something like this work. Any of you who also run an online business, like, you already know, you understand what I'm talking about. If you haven't done it before, you just know all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes whenever you're trying to create something that's like big or not natural, something that doesn't naturally create itself. It's hard. And I've had a lot of like stress and overwhelm and frustration. And if I told you the number of days I was like, Eric, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm tired. There's been a lot of that over 7 years. But I just kept doing it and moving forward because I believe in it. I believe that a Step Command Central on every desk is going to change the world. I know I can solve your problem of overwhelm. I know 100% you could give me any person in the world who has tasks and projects and papers and emails, and I could go sit in their office and we could create order in a couple of days with a system to keep it that way forever. Like, I know 100% I could do that. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go desk by desk, and obviously people need to learn how to do it themselves so they'll maintain it, because I've tried actually to go into people's homes and I don't like it because I end up doing stuff for them and then I leave and they don't know how to do it. But that's where the STEP program, 4 weeks to finish, that's where this is really powerful, because I am here with a team to guide you on how to do it, but then you're going to maintain it. You're going to build it. You are going to process all your things. You're going to get every room organized. You're going to organize your digital clutter, but you're going to learn the system and learn how to do it. And honestly, when I got to sit in that Zoom room with this amazing group and walk them through the details of building their Command Centrals, I felt so much gratitude and awe and love, knowing I was in the right place at the right time, doing what I was meant to do. That was such a good feeling. It's hard to articulate. I wish I had better words for it. And it's not that everything was perfect, because I mean, the weird things that happened behind the scenes, like Zoom, as we're getting ready, so many people joined the morning of. I was laughing. I thought, oh my gosh, why is everyone waiting till like 2 hours before the class to join? They started pouring in, and I thought, oh, our Zoom isn't going to hold all these people. I have it set up as a meeting. I don't know if our account can hold this many. So then we went and bought the large Zoom meeting room, but it didn't work. So then Aaliyah had to put her phone up and Facebook Live it. She had to hold her phone for like 2.5 hours for the call to put it on Facebook Live. And then when I recorded, I didn't know how to record just me. Usually on our team meetings and stuff, it'll record speaker view, but for some reason this one didn't. So we all look like the Brady Bunch on the recording, except when I'm sharing my screen, it does zoom in on that. But anyway, we're going to fix that for next time. And then when I went to get the recording off Zoom, my disk space was full, and I'd only gotten one warning. I didn't think it was that full, but apparently it was. So by the time I cleaned my disk space, then I couldn't convert the file until I did this random hack I found on the internet. But it took me like 3 hours to get the call converted, posted, put the homework together. I was sitting at my desk for a long time yesterday. So I just want you to know things don't always go super smoothly behind the scenes. But when there is something like that, you just say, okay, what's the next action? What do we do? We're not going to get all worried about it. And I slept really well last night, so I'm feeling great and things are moving forward. So I'm just grateful for everyone who showed up. I'm grateful for all of you who are showing up. I'm glad that we have opportunities here on our website, free or paid, or like more of that high level coaching. We have lots of options for you, because I want you to take this super seriously. I am not just here giving you random organizing ideas. I'm here to solve your problem of overwhelm. I want to help you to be able to finally breathe and relax and go on a walk, maybe take a nap and do your best work and feel really happy at the end of the day, and to be patient with your family and to think, yeah, it's all good. I've got this. Because then when you're there, you also have this ability to listen to your higher power, to be able to feel like, I can actually think about goals right now, or I could think about other people, or I could come up with maybe some new ideas that feel really exciting. That's what I want for you. It's not just that I want you to have a clean desk or a clean house. I want your mind to feel so calm and present. And I want you just breathing and feeling like no matter what comes at me, I've got it. Just this morning, Eric and I had 3 things that came at us that were, unexpected and kind of hard. And so we're adapting. And you can do that too. Okay, I'm going to close up. LearnDoBecome.com/4 weeks. That's the number 4, WEEKS, if you want to join. Or just come to the show notes page if you want to see the pictures and the homework assignments and all that. That's LearnDoBecome.com/episode 131. Have a great day, everybody.